Hello guys, welcome back to another video. This is the Football Connect. I'm your host Sam, and we are back again with another one. So today, this is the team that has been announced as the Premier League Team of the Year, voted by the players of the Premier League. So of course, in goalkeeper it's Raya, the Arsenal goalkeeper. Then of course in defense we have Kyle Walker at right back. We have Saliba and Van Dijk, and I think the other one is Gabriel, who's going to be on the left. I think that's what they've decided to do. Or maybe it's a back three. I don't know. Then in the midfield, we have, of course, Rodri being the DM, Declan Rice playing that number 8, as well as, who's that? Odegaard being as well, the making up that 3 that is at the middle. Then up front, we have Haaland. We have Oli Watkins. Then the last one is, who's the last one, people? Philip Foden, the player of this season. So, of course, this is a Liverpool channel. So my focus really is not gonna be upon all these people who have been selected. I don't even give a damn all the other people who have been selected. I only care about one person, and that person is that man right here. That man right here, Virgil van Dijk. I don't know. You can say whatever you want to say about him, but I think he deserves getting this opportunity to be nominated as the best in the Premier League in terms of defensive. I heard people saying that he cannot get into this. If you hear some terminologies that Arsenal fans brings out to try and put this man down over the likes of Saliba and Gabriel, the reason why the Premier League could not let him down because he was the best defender in the league. That one has been proven, and we all know the facts. He was the best defender in the league. That's why he was put in there. And I'm really excited the fact that he has been given that acknowledgement, and he is representing the club, all the players. And I'm hoping that maybe 2025 year we could have more Liverpool players in this team, and also other players that are becoming, as well as Arne Slot as the manager of the year, of course, because I know that Pep Guardiola is the man who has been chosen for this role. So it actually makes sense, because everything is that we are seeing actually gives us an idea over how far these teams have come on and how far they are. But of course, you know that I'm not even here for this. I'm just here to give my respect, because I think this is a well-deserved award. People said that he was finished, and I think last season he held Liverpool, and I think he helped the team to win even the trophy that we won. He fought this on his own, and he gave the whole team everything that we got. He fought, and I think he helped us to win the Carabao Cup. In fact, he did. I don't even have to think. We all know that is a fact, and the fact that he has been given the award, I think it's really, really something that I have to say. I put some respect to the players who voted for him, because he does deserve. If you want to go check out the some of the swag and all the things he's wearing, go check it out. It is there, people. A lot of people have been requesting some pictures of the players of the year, of course, or the representatives from different clubs. And of course, you find that so many people also said that they want to see Virgil van Dijk, and they've complied. So you can go check it out. He has been given an award with the number 4, and I think it's really, really amazing. I love the way they paid attention to details, that it's not only just a weird award. Remember, they used to make it like a skeleton weird award. This one is actually one of nice, because it gives a jersey with what the player with the number and what the player wears. It's actually amazing. But that's not only the thing that I want you to remind you about. It's also what was mentioned here, and I think it's really important that I go there to show you what they had to say about Van Dijk here. No, wait, where is that? Where is that? Oh, maybe there's somebody who actually put this. I think it was actually a fan who did put this information, that it is his 4th award that he has received as being in the team of the season, of team of the year. That just tells you how much and how impactful he has been to Liverpool. Whatever that happens in terms of his contract and everything, all I can say is that I put some respect on this man, put some respect on this man's name, because everything he has earned it, and he deserves to be given this accolade to come and shine and show the world who he is as a player. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What did you think of Van Dijk being given that opportunity and actually being given some respect over what we see? But actually, this is not what I'm here to talk about. You might wonder exactly then, what are you here to talk about, Sam? Well, I'll make it very, very clear right now, because we are moving to actually what I'm here for. So, hello guys, welcome back to the Connector, and I think you're gonna have an interesting one, because this is the tactical show where I analyze the game between Liverpool and Ipswich. I'm gonna be giving you my thoughts and what I saw of the game, and I think you're gonna enjoy some of the things that I've prepared for you people. It's a bit difficult because so many people now on X are trying to show that they are tactical gurus and stuff like that, repeating the same information in a different manner, or maybe taking a piece of what they saw. But here I got to sit down, put out everything that people are putting, and try to give a better analysis over the game and what we saw from our boys playing against Ipswich. But before we even go to the analysis, I want to show you something. Can your boys ever do this? Because I think this is really important. People, pay attention to details. It's always important. Can your boys ever do this? Look at this. I know Gerard Konza was taken out for not performing so well, but look at this. All from the goalkeeper to the top man, Diogo Jota, all the players that are on this page, they have already done over above what they actually can achieve. Look at, there is no anything lower than a 7. Of course, Mo Salah went to another level. Of course, I get that. But there's nothing lower than a 7. And I think that deserves some respect, because that just shows you what the team has been doing and how much they've been really impactful in terms of how they've been working on. And I'm really happy that these guys are getting the respect that they do deserve. And they're showing not only to us, but to the world how impactful they are as players. So what am I here to talk about? I'm here to just remind you what we saw from the first game of Arne Slot. So you might be surprised, why was I really talking about this? What is the purpose of me showing you this whole team with these amazing numbers and stuff? The purpose of this is because I'm looking at this team and I'm saying that they were able to put above their weight, showing what they're capable of doing in the first game of the manager. It doesn't matter what you say about the team, that it was a strong team, I get it. But for the first game of the manager, coming out and proving that you can play to this perfection, it deserves some serious respect. And that's what I'm here to do. So this was Arne Slot's first game, by the way, to those people who don't know. It was his first game, and it was a good game in terms of how we showed how we were able to improve from not performing well to actually give us a better performance from what we saw at the end of the game. And I think it's really important to remember the most important things and to pay attention to details. That's the only thing I can say, because this is a team that is coming and they have not really gone in. And I think as this week is progressing, they're getting better in terms of the tactics of what the manager expects of them and what he wants from them. And I think it's really important over how that can help us in the long term, and it can help the team to actually achieve what the manager want to achieve at the end of the day. So in terms of tactics, I'm gonna do some match facts just before we go far, so that we understand that every single thing that we are talking about here has also been done in terms of details. So I'm gonna be putting some match facts here for you, so I want you guys to pay attention and move along with me. I think that's the best thing that I can ask from you. So the match facts from the game that we won against Ipswich, they are now on the screen. So according to Opta, is it Opta what? Analysis. According to Opta analysis, these are the match facts from the Liverpool game. And what they were saying is this: Liverpool are now unbeaten in their last 12 opening matches in the Premier League. 9 wins and 3 draws since the 3-0 defeat to West Brom in 2012-2013 under Brendan Rodgers. That's really important, because there's a stat which was going around in terms of Arne Slot becoming the first manager to not lose his first game or even draw the first game. He actually won it. You have to understand that Klopp's first game was actually in the middle of the season, and I think Liverpool drew in that game. But this is what is happening here. That's what. So it means since Klopp has been at the club, he has never lost a game. He has never lost a game in each and every opening game of the season. He had 3 draws, the last draw being last season. I think he drew against Chelsea 1-1. And the other draws that happened as well. I think there was a time we drew with one of the team which had been promoted. We always find ourselves playing with these promotion teams. I think we all know that. But the other thing is this: Liverpool's Mohamed Salah has now both scored and assisted in 32 different Premier League games, with only Wayne Rooney with the 36. In which I think if Salah continued in the rate he's playing, he will surpass this, doing so more in the competition's history. So what this stat is actually trying to say to you people is that Mo Salah, in all the games he has played, 32 games of all he has played, 32 games. You have to make this 32 games. He has either left that game with the goal and an assist in the same game. So of all the 350 games he has played, 32 games he has left with a goal and an assist. And that's an impact. The only player who has done more than him, it's only Wayne Rooney. This is really important because I had a story, I had an interesting conversation on TalkSport where an Arsenal fan or an Arsenal pundit felt like Mo Salah does not get the respect he deserves in terms of what he has been doing in the world of the game, in the history of the game. So you have to understand, this guy is only four games away to be leveled with Wayne Rooney, and 5 games away to actually surpass Wayne Rooney. And that is impact, people. That is impact. Whatever you say about it, for me, that is impact. That is very much impact. So we move on. It's really important. Let's move on this. The other one, I don't know why is that my camera keeps disconnecting and connecting. I'm sorry for that. I don't know if you've noticed. Let me remove something here. I think that it could be causing chaos here. But anyway, that is impact. Like I said, the other thing that we're reading in terms of the stats, we are not done. We are not done, people. In his 350 appearance for Liverpool in all competition, Salah has registered his 300th goal involvement for the club. 212 goals and 88 assists. Do that math. That's 300 goal assists. That's 300 goals involvement in the club's history. That's amazing. This guy is an impact. He's a legend. He's a modern day legend for Liverpool. That's really important to remember. Let's continue. Salah is now the outright leader for Premier League's goal involvement, 9. In involvement in goals, there are 9 goals he has actually contributed, as well as goal involvement, which is now 14 with 5 assists on the match day he won the first game of the competition. So he has 9 goals, which is surpassing the likes of Shearer. I think the other one was very close as well that I just said of recent years is Jamie Vardy and Wayne Rooney, Frank Lampard, all the players that are there. He is now the one who's up there leading them. And as well, he has more assists. So it means in terms of goal involvement, it's actually 14. That is impact. People say whatever you want to say. That is really impact. Ipswich has now lost their last 3 Premier League games, with today, which was of course on the day, their first match in the competition since the 5-0 defeat to today's opponent. So they faced Liverpool in the last game that they played, in which they were beaten by 5-0. And it seems like before the Liverpool game they'd lost it, so it means it's 3. Adding it to today's game. So it's interesting. The game was played in May 2002. How old were you then? I don't remember. Was I 6? 6 or 5? I think so. 6 or 5, somewhere there. Liverpool conceded 13 fouls in the first match against Ipswich, the most in the opening 45 minutes of a Premier League game since 2009 against Chelsea, also 13. They also considered just 5 fouls in the second half of the game. And I think it's really important to give clarity over the stats, because I think we all saw what was happening. The match official was having a holler in terms of the way he was controlling the game, because if I remember so well, what was the purpose of always every single time whenever a player falls, they give a free kick against us? I get that these guys were getting away with it. Of course, maybe it was led by the crowd, you have to understand, and maybe there was a bit of also maybe annoyance. I think the guy was playing in the midfield, Gravenberch, was really getting so much annoyed over what was happening in the game. So it makes sense, but hey, it was really difficult. It was really difficult in this game, people. It was really, really difficult. You should go check it out. I'm telling you, you will see, especially the first half. Okay, so the last one, Diogo Jota has now been involved in 10 goals in his last 10 Premier League appearances for Liverpool, scoring 7 and assisting 3. So it's 10 goal involvements. That's impact, man. This guy is one of the best goal scorers we have at the club. So I understand some people might be talking the likes of Darwin Núñez and others are not getting game time, but there is so much impact you get from Diogo Jota. Anyway, we are done with that. I just wanted to tell you these are the match facts in which we are to prepare for over what we are going to be going through in terms of the analysis of everything that happened in this game and everything that we are expecting to hear from moi, because I have some interesting things to talk about, because it was a good game, to be honest, and I think it does really deserve to get a better and a good analysis over what we saw in the game. So I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. What impressed you the most in terms of how Liverpool were playing, as well as how they were able to adjust, especially in the second half, because it felt like we were not really in the game in the first half and we were able to adjust, and it became very, very much better. And we actually started playing football for a change. So I'm going to be showing you something, and I think it's really important that you pay attention to all the things that is going to be put into terms of this, because it explains everything we saw in the game. So let's get into that. Do me a favor, click the like button, subscribe to the Connect. The best way you support us here at TFC LFC. As you can see, we're already on the channel, so just click that button, just do it for me. Look what time I'm doing this for you people. I'm doing this to analyze the games for you, because it's really important, not only to you as well to me, because it gives me better understanding on what we were watching. So this was the game between Liverpool. So Ipswich's narrow pressing structure, the low Liverpool fullbacks, the adjustment slot made and could have made in terms of the game. It's really important to understand what the tactic is really talking about. Look at this. Look at this in terms of all the things that was happening in terms of the game, in terms of how we were analyzing the game. Look at the movement. This was the impact of the Ipswich. Look how they were compacting this side. It's really important to understand this thing. Look, as much as in terms of the attacking, the way the game came out, look how they set up. It was about is it a 4-3-4? Yeah, so it's a 4-3-3 in fact, in terms of this. But when they were attacking, they were playing the 4-2-3-4, 4-2-4. In terms of this 1, 2, 3, 4, how they set up, and this 2 in the middle and that 4 behind at the back. It was really important for them to make sure that they were covering any spaces the ball will be moving to Liverpool on all the players that were going. And look at how they were so good in taking advantage of this, because look how close Coons and Van Dijk were, and they had to play very close, and they could not do the quick passes that they're used to, because there were so many players who were energetic in terms of how they were attacking the game, the Ipswich team. And it means Liverpool had to be forced at some point to kick here, or maybe to be forced to kick outside here. And look at how the movement of Ipswich team was doing every single time the ball was moving. And it's really important. That was Liverpool trying to find space and changing what these guys were expecting. So it was like going up towards McAllister, moving where he is, and Gravenberch being the lowest who receives the ball and move with the ball. Look at that. Look at how they adjusted to each and everything, like you can see, compact, preventing Liverpool playing through them. Look at how they've adjusted. There's still 4 players in front. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, we always talk about how Slot enjoys to have a player kick the ball here when he wants to pass here. He doesn't pass here. He always passes to McAllister, or brings it back here. Or whenever he wants to pass here, he always likes to pass it to Diaz, or either brings it here and open it, because it opens up spaces. So he always wants to take a step further, or an extra step, to always open up the spaces. Even on the right, if maybe Alisson wants to pass to Konza, he doesn't pass straight to Konza. He either pass to Trent Alexander-Arnold, or whenever he does that, either Trent will pass to Gravenberch and back to Konza. So it's always like there's an extra pass or 2 extra passes for the ball to move there. But look how Ipswich were adjusting in terms of this. Look at that low block. It meant that the midfield, remember, Curtis Jones came out on live television and he said that Slot wanted the midfield to become the engine room, to become the destroyer, and somehow the way these guys had closed everything, they made it impossible for Liverpool to even find ways of playing through them, and it was very, very difficult. So that's how they had done. Look at so Liverpool rolling short distance with narrow Liverpool fullbacks. It was difficult, because everyone who was coming, look, he could come and cover this guy whenever the ball comes from Van Dijk to there, or when the ball comes to this one, there was always a player for everyone. When Alisson tries to pass for Gravenberch, look, 1, 2, 3 are already on him. When the ball goes to Trent Alexander-Arnold, 1, 2, you would move there and there. So it was impossible for the narrow passes that Liverpool have been learning under Arne Slot to actually to materialize and help out the team. So Gravenberch became the guy who could move with the ball, as you see him being highlighted, but he was also covered. Dual rows prevented central progression and gets the pressure on Liverpool centre back. So it was refusing for them. Alisson could not pass here, because look at how they were covering here. There was no space, which means that the pressure was also here on Van Dijk and Konza. That's why this number 19 guy had the time of his life to make Konza's life very, very difficult. And I think this will really analyze that I'm talking about. Look how it moved to Gravenberch whenever the ball is about to be taken to Gravenberch. And this was actually on purpose. Sometimes they would leave Konza so that the ball goes to Konza, so that they take advantage of him being there. It's like they targeted him in a way at some point. So it was really difficult for them. Look, every single time whenever now the ball is on Konza, they will move and cover Gravenberch, in which the decision of Konza making a pass was already made for him, because the Gravenberch pass had been closed. He can't reach to McAllister. The decision would have been made for him either to pass it to Van Dijk or to Alisson or to Trent Alexander-Arnold. But look at those passes. They are not progressing further. And on the Trent Alexander-Arnold pass, they knew how to cover that, and it was really important for them. Look at that. You see, now we are highlighting Trent, because that was the only visible pass that Liverpool could make, because Konza was now under pressure, and that number 20 had already covered Gravenberch. And after that, look at that, whenever the ball goes to Trent, number 20 goes back to cover Trent. This number guy of that 2 that is there takes advantage. So it means now there were about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players who were also covering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by the goalkeeper, but 6. This is the build-up squad that we've been talking about since the preseason of Liverpool. How they made it so difficult for Liverpool to play football. And maybe you would try to use Szoboszlai because he was the free one and the defender. I was talking about this. This was also something that Liverpool used to their advantage in the second half, because there was a point that I told you that Ipswich tried to do the same thing that they were doing in the first half, but Liverpool had opened up spaces to make sure that the distance that these guys up front were covering was impossible there for them to cover, which meant that sometimes they had to sacrifice one of their defenders. There you see now, it's a back 3 covering Jota, Salah, and these ones who were wide. It was by design. Slot wanted Salah and Diaz to be exactly in terms of this dimension, that wideness. He wanted it to be that way because it would force him to move there, and leave this guy with this guy. And we always know that Dominic Szoboszlai is really fast in terms of receiving the long balls. Look at this. So Ipswich were ready to jump into the full press with Gravenberch stepping out of what's his name? Graves stepping out of the centre back to make it impossible for Liverpool to play football. And look at that. Look at that. Look at the movement. Look at the movement. You see, this was in the first half. They were making decisions for Liverpool. Their movement of their 4-2-2, 4-2-4 press was making the decisions for Liverpool so that they could not find any joy in terms of moving the game. The distance were too easy for Ipswich with the low Liverpool fullbacks. Remember, we were too close to each other. Now I think this makes sense why Slot had to take out Konza and put this guy. I'll explain that when you see. Look at this. Ipswich knew that they'd covered all the space, which forced the what's his name of Andy Robertson either to pass it to Diaz or maybe kick it to Salah. But it was not always easy because there was always somebody to cover that distance. And look at that. When it goes back to Alisson, they go back to the same formation. Even when Liverpool tries to play around in terms of their movement, in terms of potential adjustment to shift Ipswich's defensive structure, but they still sticked to what they were doing. So Gravenberch was becoming one of the back three, so it was now like a back four, but it was still impossible to break them down because McAllister now was not playing in terms of that 3-3 and 4 up top. That it was crazy, but somehow they were adjusting to this possible flex. This was a possible flexible after adjusting. Look at the movement of this guy, Salah and Diaz. And McAllister and becoming that double pivot. Look at this, but in terms of Ipswich's movement, they knew how to make it impossible for Liverpool to even find joy in terms of trying to play this. So this is how the game was like in terms of how Liverpool tried to adjust to what Ipswich were asking them to do and how they were really, really struggling in terms of getting the movement that they needed in the game. And I think this is really making sense. These are some picture evidence of what we were talking. When they press from the central area, it's a wrong scenario for the fullbacks to drop low. Look where Trent is. Look where Robertson is. Look where Van Dijk is. Look where Konza was. And also dropping low as well. Look at where now Gravenberch and McAllister are at, trying to help out and moving in terms of the wide man. He wanted this. This was beginning of the second half, but look how things changed in the second half. Look where Robertson and Trent were. The difference, because it opened up so much spaces that they could not cover the space that they were getting advantage of, and hence that's where so many things like that pass that Trent Alexander-Arnold did to Salah was an advantage, and everything that happened from then, because they had to adjust to what Ipswich was doing. And I'm going to try to show you something as well, because there's something that I want you guys to see in terms of how it was a bit difficult, but they had to find another way to show it out. The purpose of why Ipswich's defense was interesting and it caused so much chaos to Liverpool. Let's move on to Opta, because I want to show you something in terms of comparing the stats from the first half to the second half. So everything that you want to do is that you want to find space to at least try to get a goal in the game. That's all that you want in a game whenever you're doing your analysis or whatever you're doing. But look at this. Look at this. This was Liverpool's first half. And by the way, this is Liverpool, the one that is in navy blue, as you can see here. But look at the interesting part. The whole entire first half, this was a shot by Dominic Szoboszlai, which was blocked in the 31 minute. This was also a shot by Dominic Szoboszlai, which was blocked as well. This was a shot by Trent Alexander-Arnold, which went higher than the way the goalkeeper was, because he was hitting out of frustration. But look at how Ipswich were having fun. They had 2 shots on target. And they also had one blocked, and also one blocked as well as one that was just off target but was dangerous. So if switching the first half, we can come out and say that they were actually having an amazing game because they were taking advantage of Liverpool's press and what they were doing. But look at how this changed in the second half and how Liverpool took advantage of this. This is now the scenario of Liverpool in the second half, and this is what Ipswich were able to do in the second half. The first one, which was off target, this was a blocked at 98 when the game's over, as well as this was a block. So they never even had a shot on target in the second half. But look at what Liverpool did. Let me actually try to make it make sense. Let me remove the goals. Let me remove the blocks. Let me remove the shots on target. These were the shots which were not on target. I think I remember this. McAllister was trying to hit on target and it just went very wide. Just went very wide, people. It just went very, very wide. But look at the shots on target that Liverpool produced in the second half. It was 1, 2, 3. 3 shots which went to the goalkeeper. And you have to understand, these are the shots, not counting the goals. Also, the goals were on target, but I've not put them in there. So 3 shots were on target. Liverpool were messing up and they were missing some chances. One of the off-target chances, well, this one by Jota, it was a header which he headed outside from the cross from Trent Alexander-Arnold. I believe you remember that. Then the goals. We had also the 2 goals which were scored, first by Salah and the other one by Jota in the same position. The way they were having entertainment in terms of playing in the ground of Liverpool, it was out of this world. As well as the ones which were blocked, in which I feel like when you look at it as well, there were a lot. We had the Mo Salah one which was blocked, Connor Bradley one, McAllister one, Szoboszlai one, and Diaz one. But look at where the positions where they're having those shots. Only one shot was out of the 18 area of Ipswich Town. This is the first team, according to the one stat that I saw today, that had position, that had so many touches in the position of the other team. And let me just show you the touches that Liverpool had. Let me go to the touches. Sorry for that. Oh, not the goalkeeper. I think should be here somewhere here. The key passes, crosses, unsuccessful passes, nope. Position. Man, these are the dribbles. I need something here. Okay, yeah. Where's my key passes? Not that. Let me remove Ipswich here. So this was, of course, in our 18 area from Alisson in the build-up stages over the successful passes that Liverpool had. Then we look at all the touches that they had in the 18 area of Ipswich. I wanted something even more clear than this. I'm sorry, I could not find it. Just could not find it. Yeah, let me remove the successful pass. Let me remove this one, the unsuccessful passes as well. Look at the unsuccessful passes that Liverpool had in the Ipswich box. These are from Alisson, of course, but look at the ones that which were done in the Ipswich box. The Salah one, the Szoboszlai one, the Van Dijk one, the Roberts. Look at the unsuccessful pass. And on top of that, I'm going to just add the successful passes as well in the boxes, in the box. Focus here, our focus should be here. Ourselves, we're looking at here. The advantage that Liverpool had in the box here. Look at that. Sorry, I just had to draw that better. Look at that. Look at all the other things which we're able to do in the same area. Let me just put everything up so that Liverpool things are all highlighted, so that you saw everything that Liverpool did in this box. That is crazy, to be honest. Having so many chances which were missing, the assist was done as well in the box, everything. Liverpool had an amazing game in the Ipswich box. And I've never seen this, because it was actually said that Liverpool are the first team to have almost around 15 touches in the 50 touches in the box of the team that they're playing, the most by any team, to make it even worse in the first game of the league. That is on another level. So I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. What did you think of the performance we saw from these teams? How was Liverpool set up, and how did you really look at it when you're looking at it in terms of watching it as a fan? What surprised you the most, and what maybe was impactful for you? Because if you look at the pass map of Liverpool in terms of the movement, look at it. There's one thing that I was saying. It's really important that we give some respect to Ryan Gravenberch. The reason why I'm saying that we give some respect to Ryan Gravenberch is because I feel like he was the glue. He was the guy who made everything work. Look at the balls which were going through him, the balls which were moving through him, were passing through him. That he was detecting the tempo, moving with everything in terms of the passes, in terms of everything that he wanted to do. He was. Let me just do something that is interesting here, people. I want you to pay attention in terms of what Ryan Gravenberch was able to do in terms of his discipline act. These are the fouls, of course, which he lost. These are some of the fouls he won, which was one, but he lost a lot of them. And most of them, so I think, were in the first half. But in terms of in the game, look at also in terms of position, what he offered in position, and also look at his defensive action. His defensive action helping the team in defending, as well as his distribution, in which I feel like it's really important whenever you're analyzing a player. This was a Gravenberch's game, the whole entire game. Remember, this guy's playing as a deep playmaker. If you remember, a few days back after the Euros were done, I talked about what Declan Rice was doing for England, and I talked about how much of an impact less of an impact he was as a player, and how much he needed to change that. I was looking at what Rodri was doing in terms of his movements, in terms of how he was moving with the game, in terms of how much he was offering so much in the game. But look at this. This is how Ryan Gravenberch's game was all about. He was not only passing backwards. Of course, he had some passes backwards, but look at some of the passes he made going forward. If you're a number 6 and he's playing in a double pivot, if you're a number 6 helping your team to go forward, your movement and your passes and your pass map should be telling us that you want to win something going forward. Look at the positions in which we were finding him. He was there as well, playing almost as a wing back. He was playing as a defender at some point. He was doing that. Of course, the only place we did not see him go was inside the box, because in terms of all his passes, he was building from the deep line going forward. And that's why I tell you that this guy will be very important to what Liverpool wants to do. And to see how much less impactful he was in the first half, and how much he just came to life in the second half, and he became the guy who progressed the game well. He helped Liverpool to build so well, and to even make it interesting, let's add his mates. Let's add maybe McAllister in the same analysis. Oh, where's McAllister here? Where's Alex McAllister? Let's add McAllister in there as knowledge put the full game. This is now both of them with Marker, and let's add Dominic Szoboszlai. So Arne Slot talks about wanting his team to become dominant with the ball. He talks about being the midfield, being in terms of the mindset that opens up the game, that makes the game functional, that helps the team to actually produce something. And there's nothing that displays what he's looking for in the game, what he's looking for in this game, than what we are looking at the picture right now. This is how impactful the whole midfield of Liverpool. If I remove Ryan Gravenberch and I remove maybe Alex McAllister, look at what Dominic Szoboszlai was doing in the game. If I remove Dominic and put Alex McAllister only, look at it, and look at as well as the positioning, by the way. Dominic Szoboszlai, all his things was more in terms of the right side. So it means if we are looking at this at the heat map, his heat map will be covering this whole entire place from here to here this becomes, in fact, I can just highlight it. This would have been his hit map. This was Dominic Szoboszlai's hit map, if we were to look at it like this, because that's where he was playing his game. But then we add McAllister in the mix. Then we take out him. Then we try to look at how impactful McAllister was. He was on the left side of the game. This was how far, in terms of his heat map of McAllister, was in building up and helping out. Now look at where Gravenberch will find himself in. Look where Gravenberch is. Look where Gravenberch is. He is everywhere on the pitch. He's the number 6. He is the guy that maybe Martin Zubimendi would have become if he had come to Liverpool. And he has taken this game by the scruff of the neck. I feel like so many people are not giving enough respect and are not really looking at it. I only felt some maybe from who were talking about him, but I felt like they did not actually watch how impactful his game was. The reason why he was not taken out of this game is because he detected the tempo of everything, slowing down the game, making the game move fast, making everything move the way it had to do. It was Ryan Gravenberch's job to make sure that Liverpool were ticking. It was his job to make sure that Liverpool were ticking. And I think he showed it in full effect when you look at how much he was helping the team to move around. And of course, the other guy who was really important in terms of the game is Trent Alexander-Arnold. And of course, he ran the game, especially in the second half, from his right back position. He was limited to do this. If you look at so many of these things, let me show you in the first half. So many of the mistakes he made, or in terms of the blocks and the shots he could not actually help, the unsuccessful passes he had were all controlled from the first half. But in the second half, of course, he had some, but most of them were impactful. That pass was the one that he passed to Salah, and Salah took the ball to set it up for the Diaz goal. I always remember there was a cross from here where he passed it to Jota, and Jota just mistakenly missed the post. And of course, we know the corner kicks he runs that world. And let's look at his mate as well. What was Andy Robertson doing on the other side? Andy Robertson, he was a bit limited, and I think everyone noticed this. He did go up there a few times, but he was a bit limited in terms of what he was doing. So this is how the whole entire fullbacks were like. So I know it's the first game, and I know people are gonna say it was a lesser team, but I felt like Liverpool offered so much in terms of how this helped this team to be very, very successful. Oh my God, look, this is just it's so interesting. You can't even see who was there. This is how Liverpool were dominating in terms of the whole entire game, the full match. First half. Second half was even more crazier because we wanted it more. And I felt like we stepped up in the second half and we showed what we wanted, and we got the best of the players. So I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. What did you think of Liverpool's performance playing against this, in terms of what you saw, what impressed you, what you expected, and how the game actually went on to be like? Because it was a good game for me. I don't want to lie to you. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed especially the second half. Of course, we won't talk more about what happened. We'll always talk about how we enjoyed it because we are biased. We are biased. We are 100% biased. We support our team with everything we have, and we'll say what only benefits us. And in my case, I felt like Liverpool ran the game in the second half. They made it even more exciting. They gave us even more in terms of how much the game opened up and how much it was able to help out the team to have a direction on what they wanted to achieve. And I think it's really important that we build from here. I feel like from what we've seen here, I understand we want signings. I understand it's exciting to hear the here we goes. I understand that we want some changes, but this team, from Arne Slot's point of view, he only wanted one player, and one player that said that he doesn't want to come, and he was like, oh, if you don't want to come, it's okay. I'll fight you. You don't want to come, I'll move on without you. And hence why there were so many players who were given some amazing stats in terms of their performance and what they offered in the game. I'm hopeful. I'm excited over how we started, and I want to see how far we go from here, people. Because Liverpool just looks like they are in an interesting zone where they just want to show what they would do. They just want to hurt teams, and they just want to enjoy their games. And I'm just hoping that this continues. And I'm just hoping that people can let me know their thoughts in the comment section. What did you think of Liverpool's performance? Who impressed you the most? And what are you expecting to see from our performance, the lasting performance, and how we can rise from there again and go forward? Because I do believe that this guy, for me, this guy is the future. Say whatever you want to say. Ryan Gravenberch, for me, is the future of what Liverpool are building up, in terms of him playing that DM role, in terms of him detecting the movement, the passes, the move, what Liverpool have to do. He is the future. And the McAllister, I think, is going to be playing more in terms of that left position, helping out in the double pivot in terms of building up as well as going forward. There's no going anywhere far. We played with a team that had so much, that offered so much in terms of how their fan base were really enjoying this game, and they really wanted to put so much pressure on Liverpool. But we were able to improve in terms of how the game went on to be like, and how we started to take advantage of what we saw from the game. So these are the tactics, the analysis that we saw, and I think I tried to did justice in terms of explaining every single thing that was happening in that game. And I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. What are you expecting to see from Liverpool going forward, and how do they get better from what we've seen? And do you want more of this analysis shows? Do me a favor, like the vid, subscribe to that vid, and it's really important, because we're here to stay people, and we'll learn so much. So click the like button, subscribe to the Connect, and let me know who was your man of the match. I know they voted Salah, but somebody must have his own man of the match, and I want to hear that in the comment section. Exciting times, people. It's slot time. I'm really, really excited, and I'm bang. I'm gassed. I'm out. Peace.
Beats the goalkeeper. You're just lost for words. He is just brilliant. Georgie Best, Diego Maradona, Johan Cruyff.